On a foggy autumn morning in Portland's West Hills, the world felt hushed. A soft veil of mist floated above the Willamette River, and the golden leaves of fall drifted across the paths of Riverview Cemetery. As I walked into the grounds, the fog slowly lifted into a gentle haze, almost like a quiet memory rising from the hillside. This is Riverview Cemetery, one of Portland's oldest and most beautiful resting places. And today, we'll walk through the stories shaped by pioneers, frontier legends, soldiers, and a man whose hilltop home still watches over the city he once helped build. I'm Aaron, and this is Stories in Stone. Founded in 1882, Riverview Cemetery was created by some of Portland's earliest civic leaders, names like Ladd, Failing, and Corbett. Their vision was simple but meaningful, a vision that honored both memory and landscape. They selected this wooden slope above the Willamette because of its natural beauty. The founders wanted a place that the living could walk, reflect, and feel connected to both nature and history. Riverview is part of the American Garden Cemetery movement. Rather than neat rows on flat ground, this style embraced natural terrain, curving roads, layered hillsides, and mature trees that shift with the seasons. Even on my visit, I could feel that intention. The quiet paths, the distant river, the autumn color created an atmosphere that felt both peaceful and deeply rooted in Portland's history. One of the notable figures resting here is Henry Weinhard, born in 1830 in Germany. He came to the United States as a young brewer, eventually settling in Portland and building one of the Northwest's most influential breweries. Weinhard wasn't just a businessman. He supported local charities, helped organize Portland's German Aid Society, and became a well-known civic figure. His brewery thrived for generations and remained a Portland fixture until 1999. Standing at his grave, surrounded by falling leaves, it was easy to imagine Portland in his time. Smaller, full of promise, and shaped by hard-working immigrants like him. His resting place faces the same river roots that supported his growing business more than a century ago. Not far from Weinhard lies a name that surprises almost everyone: Virgil Earp. Yes, that Earp family. Older brother to Wyatt Earp, and a key figure in the infamous 1881 gunfight near the OK Corral in Tombstone. Yet his final chapter ends here, on a quiet hillside in Portland. Virgil himself did not live in Portland, but his daughter and grandchildren had deep Oregon roots. After his death, the family chose Riverview as his final resting place. And when I visited, a holly tree cast a soft shadow over his stone. It's a long way from the dusty streets of Arizona, but there's something fitting about this peaceful setting. A reminder that even legends find stillness in unexpected places. Riverview is also home to one of Oregon's significant memorials, the Spanish-American War Soldiers Monument. Here, 165 soldiers who served during the war are honored with a formal, symmetrical array of headstones. This monument features the roll call statue, an expressive bronze figure representing a soldier pausing to answer his name during muster. Walking among the stones that morning, the light was soft and angled, the autumn sun filtering through the clouds. The rows created a rhythmic pattern of white markers, each representing a life that left Oregon to serve far from home. The Spanish-American War was brief, but its impact was long-lasting. Many of the soldiers buried or remembered here were young men from across the Pacific Northwest. Farmers, laborers, students, people whose lives might have otherwise remained unrecorded. There's a quiet dignity to this section of the cemetery. The stones are arranged with equal spacing, equal height, equal recognition. It's a place that encourages reflection not on battles, but on sacrifice and service. Resting on the hillside is Henry Lewis Pittock. Born in London in 1835, and one of the most influential figures in Portland's early history. His grave is modest, marked by a simple stone and surrounded by tall trees and an open view toward the city that he helped shape. Standing there that morning, with the branches shifting overhead and the valley spread out below, I found myself imagining the Portland of Pittock's time. Smaller, rougher around the edges, but full of possibility. Pittock arrived in Oregon as a young typesetter and rose to become the publisher of the Oregonian, guiding it to be one of the region's most influential newspapers. After spending time at his grave, I traveled to another nearby hill. To stand in front of the home that he and his wife, Georgiana, built more than a century ago. Pittock Mansion. The mansion was built between 1909 and 1914 and sits high above Portland, framed by evergreens and broad windows that overlook the skyline. As I filmed there, the morning haze settled softly over the city, and the autumn trees glowed warmly. It felt like stepping into the world that Pittock had envisioned, ambitious, expansive, and deeply rooted in the landscape. And in that moment, the connection between the two places became clear. His mansion rises above the city that he helped build, full of confidence and optimism, while his grave sits on a nearby hillside, looking over the same valley with a gentler, more reflective peace. Traveling from one location to the other felt like tracing the arc of his life, from vision and achievement to rest and remembrance. A convergence of memory, ambition, and tranquility carried on the morning air. As the morning haze lifted and the sun warmed the trees, Riverview Cemetery revealed itself as not just a resting place, but as a living landscape, layered with nature, history, and quiet reverence. Each grave, each monument, each winding path offers a window into Portland's history. And walking among them, surrounded by autumn color, I felt grateful for the stories preserved here on the hillside above the Willamette River below. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through Riverview Cemetery. And if this walk meant something to you, please like the video, subscribe, and join me again as we explore the lives, legends, and landscapes of historic cemeteries.